Greetings. Happy new days, beloved. I hope that you are feeling well. I hope that you are feeling loved. I hope that you are feeling like God's favorite child. I hope that you are feeling favored, supported, whole, motivated, inspired. I hope that you are feeling good. I was literally just studying and I was like, this article was so good and so straightforward. I was like, let me share it. Okay, so firstly, this article is about healing your inner child. It talks about the importance of healing your child and the experiences that would cause for you to have to heal your inner child, okay? And I would also like to point out therapeutic approaches, therapy, healing, that is all new. Is new in general, but is really new amongst our community. So these are conversations that we should be having, which will in turn help us self-reflect on how we're raising our own children. And if you are past the stage of raising your children, being a part of that process of raising your grandchildren, right? So any of that. So we're going to jump into this. Healing your inner child is considered important psychologically and therapeutically context for several reasons. The concept of the inner child is rooted in the ideal that our current emotions, behaviors, patterns are often influenced by experiences and unresolved issues from our childhood. Here are some reasons why healing your inner child is considered significant. Okay. Impact on adult behavior. Unresolved childhood experiences can shape your adult behaviors, relationships, and overall well being. I've seen that for myself. Not having my father definitely put me in a anxious attachment mode in relationships, right? Where I have this ideal that it could end at any time and I need to be prepared. Healing your inner child allows you to address and understand the origins of certain patterns, helping you make positive changes in your present life. Okay, this is why we're self-evaluating, right? I was able to connect. Wow, me having that type of relationship with my father, it definitely segue into how I interpreted men. And also, just them not being around, like, there's not so many men in my family that are like actively participating, right, with their families. We already know single parent households are ruling the nation, unfortunately. And that in itself can be a reason why you're having a lot of the attitudes that you're having or behaviors. I think a lot of times just the gender conflict that we have is centered around having like these absentee parents, and then us thinking that is normal, or thinking that, well, I ain't have a daddy, so I don't need none. So all of that, all of those experiences are contributing to your attitude, your behaviors, and your outlooks on life. Emotional healing. The inner child represents the emotions and experiences from early years. By acknowledging and processing these emotions, you can heal past wounds, release emotional baggage, and develop a healthier emotional foundation. This is really important. Emotional regulation is really important. I feel like that is one of the biggest issues we have, especially working with youth, working as a youth counselor, working as a youth teacher, or a youth behavior interventionist. Emotional regulation is something that many of us are lacking. We have not been taught how to regulate our emotions, when to let things go, moving away from suppressing everything, right? But when we acknowledge our emotions, past and present emotions, it allows for us to move forward, right? I've acknowledged that I felt this way. I'm allowing myself to take baby steps into feeling better, and I'm releasing all of the stress and turmoil that experience comes with, instead of it storing it in my body, storing it in my muscle, storing it in my brain. And now it has a direct impact and influence on how I interact with the world. You're literally like harvesting negative energy when you take on these traumatic experiences. Don't acknowledge them and let them rest in your temple, right? You're literally gonna be beating from that energy. Connecting with your inner child involves showing compassion and understanding to the younger version of yourself who may have experienced pain, neglect, or trauma. This self compassion can lead to improved self esteem and self worth. This is another important component because many of us blame ourselves for certain experiences we had as a child. We have not forgiven ourselves. We have not taken on a more understanding, loving approach. And this is why I always say, be your parent. Be the parent to your inner child. Be the parent to yourself. Show yourself that nurture and care. You can be disciplined with you. You can be stern with you, but you must present a level of empathy and sympathy for yourself, right? Literally when that inner child is crying and yearning for attention, give it what it needs. Treat yourself like a newborn baby. You know how if that baby cries, everybody's running to the baby. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? How can I help? Feel that way about yourself. Have that approach to yourself. How can you better feed yourself? How can you better direct your emotions and feelings? Okay, breaking patterns. This is when we're implying the practicing, okay? Breaking patterns. Negative patterns and coping mechanisms learned in childhood may persist into adulthood. This is very important, which is, it just makes sense. For some reason, you're not going to go from everything that you've been taught and then you turn 18 and just start doing new things. No, you have to create new patterns. And it takes time to break old patterns that are unhealthy for you and build those new patterns, right? It takes time, it takes practice, it takes consistency, and it takes for you to become a leader over yourself, because oftentimes we are doing what we're told to do. Whatever we seen our parents doing, whether it was working or not, we can easily find ourselves falling into those same those same patterns that they were doing, emotional patterns, physical patterns, relationship patterns. Many of us fell into into the footsteps of being single parents, just like our mothers or just like our fathers. Some of us fell into being absentee parents, just like our parents did. So some of us even segue into different diseases, the same diseases and disorders that our parents had. So we have to fight against that. We have to break those patterns. Healing the inner child involves breaking free. Okay? Breaking free from these horrible patterns, fostering healthier coping mechanisms, and developing more adaptive behaviors. Yes, this is why you are questioning your behaviors, you are questioning your actions, you are allowing yourself to self-evaluate and assess, where can I improve? Where can I show up with a brighter attitude? Where can I be more accountable? Where do I need to stop procrastinating? What am I doing that I can move away from and develop a more healthier behavior pattern that's gonna essentially give me what it is that I truly want out of life, okay? Improve relationships. Unresolved childhood issues can impact your relationships with others. By addressing and healing your inner child, you may gain insight into how your past affects your interactions and work towards building more fulfilling and healthy relationships. Again, most of us are in the same type of relationships we saw our parents in. Some of us had we seen abusive relationships. We just joined the party, right? Whatever it was, we can see, those certain patterns, you're able to point it out. You're able to point out and see the negative patterns within your own family. And some of us have literally just fell in line. We are not actively fighting against it. We have fell in line and we're following the same patterns. Self-discovery. Exploring and understanding your inner child can be a journey of self-discovery. Why? Because you get to know you. You get to know you and what you really like. Some of us don't know us. Don't even know our favorite color. Don't know nothing about us. Don't know nothing. Like, when you haven't sat down long with yourself, you haven't processed all of the experiences that you had, all the crazy things that took place. But we just got up and kept going because that's what the world tells us to do. We just get up, go back to work, get up, go back to doing the things that we need to do, handling our business, but never taking a second to really discover what is it that I really enjoy? What do I really like out of life? What really grabs my attention? Because so many times we just fall into whatever the people around us like. Oh, my friend like that, well, I'm gonna like it too. Oh, he do it like that, I'm gonna do it like that too. We just fall into those patterns of copying what we are seeing done versus going on that self-discovery journey and really determine what it is that I truly want, okay? So, increase resilience. This is the last one. Increase resilience. Resilience often stems from a foundation of emotional well-being. Healing your inner child can continue to increase resilience by addressing and overcoming past hardships, fostering a more robust sense of self, and building the bounce back from adversity. Yes, okay? And that's what it's about. Resilience is, to me, is always a fun theme. It's a theme that all of us experience at some point. Somebody told you you couldn't do something, you made it happen. You was told that you was never going to amount to nothing, and you surpassed that. Resilience for me is literally like you placing up the resistance, the firewall to all the negativity that is going to be brought to you. You're going to go against opposition. It's going to happen. That's how the world is set up. You got witches here, you got evil dwellers here. They're present. They're present. And some people, when they see God's light, when they see the radiation of the sun, when they feel your power, they can't handle that. They have to cast a negative spell. And it's your job to have resilience over that. You will experience adversity. You got this. This is a beautiful journey for you. You are at the right place at the right time. You are experiencing everything you're supposed to experience. All of these lessons that belong to you, all of these challenges that belong to you, you will win. You have triumph. You have everything that you need to be successful. Enjoy the journey, beautiful loved one. Welcome to the best days of your life.